Trump is making good on his campaign promise to have Kennedy join his administration to disrupt the Washington norms. Griff Jenkins reporting now from D.C. with the latest. Griff.
And Harris, this may be the least surprising pick after Trump repeatedly hinted that he would enlist Kennedy to help make America healthy again. But already, RFK Jr. getting a harsh reception from some Democrat senators like Patty Murray posting this to X yesterday, saying this could not be more dangerous. There's no telling how far an anti-vaxxer and fringe conspiracy theorist like RFK Jr. could set America back in terms of public health, reproductive rights, research, and more. But Kennedy says his skepticism on vaccines is being misconstrued by his critics, offering this explanation on NBC.
I'm not going to take away anybody's vaccines. I've never been anti-vaccine. If vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. People ought to have choice, and that choice ought to be informed by the best information.
And he's getting praise from a Democrat governor who was on the front lines during the COVID pandemic, Colorado Governor Jared Polis, saying this: "I'm excited about the news. He helped us defeat vaccine mandates in Colorado and in 2019 and will help make America healthy again by shaking up HHS and FDA." Now, among the things we know Kennedy wants to do, if confirmed, address America's health and food habits, put a spotlight on obesity and heart disease, re-examine vaccine approvals, ban toxic chemicals, and cut corporate influences. And for what it's worth, Harris, many of these goals are bipartisan, lest we forget First Lady Michelle Obama led the Let's Move effort to get America more fit. We'll see what happens. Harris?
Griff, thank you very much. Ben, your show is called The Verdict. What's your verdict on this?
I laugh at how they're all freaked out by him, and I just have to read this headline from Politico. This was back in 2008. Obama considers stars for the cabinet. President-elect Barack Obama is strongly considering Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head the Environmental Protection Agency, a cabinet post, Democrat officials told Politico. So all of these Democrats that are like freaking out, like, oh, he's extreme. We can't have him. We can't trust him. Sorry, shut up. Like, you guys are so filled with hypocrisy. It's embarrassing. I also think that it's shocking how the media is reacting to all the things that Donald Trump said he was going to do that he's actually doing. Like, they can't believe that RFK is actually there. I'm like, did you not see them on stage? Did you not see the fireworks go off when he brought him out there? Did you not see the crowd go crazy? And the same left that loved him, only because he bucked the system on asking questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. And a lot of people took a second look at him. A lot of people that were conservative took a second look at him. And they said, oh, this is interesting. This is a guy that's asking questions. If you go back and look at what he said, he only asked questions and they lost their minds. I've never seen so many conservatives, by the way, now looking at following the money of Big Pharma and realizing, like, hey, maybe we're actually being taken advantage of. Maybe they want to throw every single vaccine at you to make more money. And we know how much money they made off the vaccines. We also know that doctors were not honest with the American people because they were getting bonuses for how many vaccines they were putting out there. And the American people and mothers will not forget that.
Big Pharma, Big Sugar, watch out. Certain stocks dropping like rocks the moment he was picked. RFK is going to clean house.
It's not often that the entire medical and public health community is going to be in lockstep on something, but they're pretty close on this in terms of their significant concerns, horror even. Somebody said to me today, I can't think of any single individual who'd be more damaging to public health than RFK.
Their career staff texting me saying this was just the push they needed to try to get out. They were already on the fence and worried. So we're not just going to see this incredible kind of integration of ideology that has no science behind it.
America is the sickest country in the entire developed world. And TV doctors are happy with the status quo. 3/4 of American adults are overweight or obese. It doesn't have to be this way. America should be the healthiest country. Our food's so toxic, we're not even allowed to sell it in Europe. We all started getting sick and fat in 1990. That's when they added ultra-processed food to the food pyramid. Doctors began prescribing everyone pharmaceuticals, and everyone got a desk job and stared at a screen all day. Have you been to the beach recently? We used to be a lot skinnier. The government let the food and drug industry turn us into Jabba the Hutt. And they say RFK's dangerous. These people should be brought up on child abuse charges. I saw an elementary school class walking down the street in Midtown yesterday. Looked like the Cowboys' offensive line. The Army can't even recruit. They had to lower their standards because everyone was too big and slow. Show me a 70-year-old who can do this. Now, this is the most powerful woman or man at Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine. Would you consider him or her healthy and fit? RFK Jr. would oversee agencies that lied about COVID and told us to hide from a virus that spreads inside. Why are Democrats so bent out of shape about a ripped 70-year-old wanting to take food coloring out of Doritos and go for a hike once in a while? This guy wants clean water and fresh fruit, and Democrats are calling him crazy. RFK Jr. is saying, let's diet and exercise, and the left saying, no, 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 stay inside, eat takeout, and inject Ozempic. If anyone tells you that's healthy, they're the threat. Michaels is a fitness expert and campaigned alongside RFK Jr., and she joins me now. So, Jillian, you must be happy for Bobby.
I'm overjoyed. I have so much to say, but I'll just wait for you to hit me with all the questions. I'm ecstatic. Trump delivered on his promise. I could not be happier and more grateful about this.
Yeah,
and all the Democrats can thank us later. That's it.
Right. We're going to have everybody lose 40 pounds, and they're going to look fantastic. We're not just happy for Bobby. We're happy for the country. Because if he's put in charge and he does what he promises to do, we can all maybe live longer, feel better about ourselves, and stop popping so many pills. Why is that controversial?
It's controversial because he's going to be overseeing, I think it's 11 different agencies, from the FDA, the USDA, the NIH, and the list goes on, the CDC. So the lobbies of big farming, big pharma, big food, and big insurance are in an absolute panic. He is going to tear down their multi-billion-dollar industries. When you think about how much of our tax subsidy dollars go to companies like Monsanto, which he sued, by the way, and won the suit against them, go to companies like Monsanto to create genetically engineered crops covered in pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, chemical fertilizers that they sell that poison us, that make us sick, that destroy our environment. He's going to stop that. And that's the tip of this iceberg, and they are in a panic.
Right, because if we're eating toxic foods and then getting sick and then being prescribed medication and then going to the hospital and then dying earlier, it's not only making us a sick country, but it's also racking up massive debt while these people who are preying on us are getting filthy rich. He has to go in there and break that entire system to smithereens. Do you expect, I'm talking massive resistance, massive, like maybe big Intel type of resistance here?
I don't disagree with you, and that's why the next step is getting him confirmed by the Senate, and we need to apply as much pressure as possible as citizens. I mean, even hashtags like confirm RFK Jr. I know that sounds ridiculous, but on every level, we need to let them know that we're watching, that we demand change, that there's been a clear mandate, and anybody who doesn't comply here will be held accountable in the next set of elections, period.
You know, being healthy is like, it's free. You don't have to buy a lot of things to go outside and take a walk or drink water instead of soda, or maybe get food that's not like just laced with additives. It's so simple, but if you live a simple, clean lifestyle, then they're not going to make as much money, and they're not going to have as much power in Washington and throughout the rest of the country. It's really about power, isn't it?
Well, it's about power and raw economic incentive. And as much as we can suggest that it's simple, it's not easy, and it's not easy by design. And in fact, it's called structural violence. And it's this collaboration of this toxic quartet, if you will, of the way big farming proliferates these cheap, toxic calories. Big food picks up those calories, and they tinker with it a bit more with their food scientists to make it more addictive, to make it omnipresent. Then Big Pharma catches us on the other side and starts treating all of our sicknesses with all their diseases. And we won't even touch on big insurance and how they play a role because there isn't enough time. But the bottom line is, look at the world. It's this simple. Infertility, highest ever. Early onset cancer diagnosis, up 79% over the last 3 decades. 74% of adults in America are overweight and obese. We need change. We need it now. What they're doing isn't working, and it's not working on purpose because it's profitable for the very few. And it's bankrupting Americans. It's the #1 cause of bankruptcy is a health-related condition, and it's killing them. If you're afraid of RFK, you've lost your mind. Take a back seat, let the professionals in this space handle it, and thank God when it starts improving. Period.
And ladies, if RFK Jr. succeeds, you can all look like Jillian. So that's a little goal to strive for. Have a great night.
Lockstep. Lockstep. Misconstrue. Misconstrue. Additive. Additive. Proliferate. Proliferate. Omnipresent. Omnipresent. Infertility. Infertility. Obese. Obese. Strive. Strive. Ecstatic. Ecstatic. Smithereens. Smithereens. Tinker. Tinker.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.